on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Basketball in March.
The Donut Bag presented by The Sportscast.
The Donut Bag, hosted by Joey Toscano. And here's your host, Joey Toscano.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I still can't get over that I have my own theme song and an introduction that is so cute and cool. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Donut Bag podcast, part of the Sportscast Network. Welcome to everybody joining live. If you want to join in on the conversation, join us on the YouTube channel. Just search for Joey Bag of Donuts, V instead of an F, and you can join in the conversation. And tonight I'm going to need it because it's just me flying solo. I haven't done a podcast in a couple weeks, and I have a crazy schedule this week, so I was supposed to do it tomorrow night, but I can't. So I'm just gonna throw something together, just have it out there, just to talk a little bit of Steelers. So if you want to join in the conversation or really ask me about anything, that's fine. I think there's a way of asking on Twitter, but I'm not sure. So I don't know if you just reply to me or something. I don't know how that works, but I think but definitely on get on YouTube if you want to join in on the conversation. All right, so let's talk about what's going on. Basically, there are just a couple of main issues going on with the Steelers, and the big one is what is going on with Aaron Rodgers. So as of right now, which is April 7th in the evening, Aaron Rodgers still has not signed with the Steelers. Since we last talked, he had his little throwing session with DK Metcalf, and then there was the owner meetings last week where Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan, and Art Rooney II spoke about it, and they usually do not talk about people that are not on the team. They don't talk about potential free agents or people coming to the team. They just don't do that. They'll just say, we don't talk about free agents, and that's it. But they talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers, especially Rooney. He basically said that it's likely that he's coming. So it very much seems like the Steelers are expecting Aaron Rodgers to sign. Now, when? Why? Why has he not signed yet? I actually have a theory about this. My theory is he doesn't want to get penixed. What's penixed? Well, look what happened with Kirk Cousins last year. Kirk Cousins was a free agent with the Vikings. He signs with the Falcons. They give him like a 3 or 4 year deal. Like, okay, I'm the guy. Here we go. And then with the like 8th or 10th, I think it was the 8th overall pick in the draft, which was a surprise to everybody. The Falcons take Michael Penix, and it's very obvious that Penix was the quarterback of the future. You don't draft a quarterback top 10 and not play him. So I think, and then what ended up happening, Cousins either got hurt or his performance sucked, and Penix ended up playing, and now it's very obvious that Cousins is still on the team, but he's in a really bad situation from his point of view. So maybe Aaron Rodgers doesn't want that. Maybe Aaron Rodgers wants to wait till after the draft or whatever to see. It's like, okay, what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna draft a quarterback and I'm not even gonna play the whole year? I don't know. Maybe that's what he's thinking. When he went from the Packers to the Jets, I believe the timing was kind of similar. it all worked out, I think, a week before the draft or a few days before the draft or something like that, that he actually signed on with the Jets. So maybe that'll happen this time. Maybe it'll be a few days before the draft. Maybe it'll be a week before the draft, something like that. A lot of people are saying, well, you have your Pat McAfee show big night at that's Wednesday, I believe. It's a live event at PPG Arena, and I believe he sold it out. And people are saying, "Oh, he's gonna show up. That's where he's gonna announce it. He's gonna show up, and that's how he's gonna introduce himself to Pittsburgh." I think that might have happened if it was if the event wasn't a sellout, but I believe the event is a sellout, so I don't think he's going to do that, and I don't think Aaron Rodgers has been on the McAfee show for the past few weeks. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions about Aaron Rodgers. That he's just doing this for the attention. He's an attention whore. He's everybody look at me. I don't know if that's what he's thinking, because from what I heard, it's kind of the agent is creating this drama or whatever. I don't know. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about him, that like he's a coach killer. Let's talk about that. I think in Green Bay, I don't think he tried to get rid of the coach, but I know he tried to get rid of the GM. I think he hated that the GM kept drafting, like, he never spent a first round pick on an offensive player, and I think that really annoyed him. And I think he just wanted more control, and the Packers were not about that. So he was upset about that. But then he goes to the Jets, and they basically just give him the damn franchise, which was the dumbest thing ever. You know what is almost as dumb as giving Russell Wilson the franchise when he was in Denver. And this almost the same exact thing happened. They got their own coach. They got their own offensive coordinator. Well, Aaron Rodgers didn't get his own coach. He had Robert Saleh, who was a defensive-minded guy. And, the reports are that he got rid of him. I don't know. But at the very least, he got his own offensive coordinator. And we saw how that worked out. That guy was a schmuck. He was a terrible as the Denver coach, and he just sucks. So, that was just a whole disaster. So basically they gave Aaron Rodgers way too much power. Oh, and the other thing, Aaron Rodgers brought in like all of his friends. Was all like half the offense was like friends of his or something like that. Receivers he used to play with and stuff like that. There, Alan Lazar and stuff like that. I'm sure he insisted on Devontae Adams, which actually that actually worked out. But the bottom line is, you give him way too much power, and it was a disaster. Same thing like Russell Wilson in Denver. So the lesson is, and Russell Wilson had to learn, yeah, okay, that didn't work. The next team I'm going to, I'm not going to have any power. And Russell Wilson didn't have any sway in Pittsburgh. He didn't get to do all those things. He tried, and I think that's why the Steelers wanted nothing to do with him this year. But I think if Aaron Rodgers did come to the Steelers, he's not getting his own dudes. He's not getting his own offensive coordinator and stuff like that. So, I think part of it is the control thing. Another factor, I'm trying to be optimistic about this whole Aaron Rodgers thing. I'm trying. I'm not happy about it, but considering the alternatives, what are you going to do? So, why was he so bad with the Jets? From what I hear, he was hurt. There was a lot of things. Either he didn't disclose to reporters or the team or whatever, or he didn't want to disclose. It's like, hey, let's check you out. Like, no, I think he just refused when they tried to check him out, because if they did, they would probably find something and probably bench him or put him on IR or something. So, we're talking about a 42-year-old trying to stay healthy. So maybe he would be healthier with the Steelers. Maybe. I think one factor that would really help is, and I think, when you think about why is he even doing this, it's like, bro, the minute he retires 5 years from now, he's a first round Hall of Famer, first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. So you think, okay, why would you even come back? I think he's coming back because it just ended so horribly with the Jets, and I think he wants to show, listen, that wasn't me. That's because the Jets are a clown organization. So, I think he just wants to end on a high note, and also I think he just wants to. I think he just wants to play with Mike Tomlin. It seems like Mike Tomlin and Aaron Rodgers have had this like flirtation going on for forever now. Whenever they play each other, they're like winking at each other and stuff like that. So I think they have a mutual respect for each other, because from what I understand, Tomlin is the driving force. He's the main guy that wants Aaron Rodgers. So we'll see. I think in the next week or two, we're going to know if Aaron Rodgers is coming. And really, hey buddy, you got nowhere else to go. I saw a report that said, well, the Steelers aren't Aaron Rodgers' first choice. It was like, hey buddy, you weren't the Steelers' first choice. Okay. The Steelers' first choice, I believe, was Sam Darnold. And the second choice was Justin Fields. And the third choice is Aaron Rodgers. You want to know where Russell Wilson was on that list? How many people on there on Earth? Like 8 billion? Russell Wilson would be like 8 billion and one. That would be where Russell Wilson is. For some reason, he just really pissed them off. I don't know what he did, man. But considering that there was no options, there's no other options besides, Darnold was gone, Fields was gone, Russell Wilson's still out there. They wanted nothing to do with the Steelers. Wanted nothing to do with him. I don't know why. He must have really pissed him off. So basically, Aaron Rodgers has a choice of either Steelers just retire, or just wait it out and hang around, just do nothing until training camp or the beginning of the season, and wait for a quarterback to get hurt and then jump on that team. Which, if I was him, that would be what I would do, because with that way, you don't have to go through OTAs, you don't have to go through training camp, you don't have to go through all that crap. You just show up and just make it work. Just fling it around. You can't expect them to know the playbook that well. So just throw it out there, just fling it around. So that's what I would do if I were him. But we'll see. But I like I said, I doubt he's going to come on the McAfee show. So we'll see. Rooney said we won't wait forever, and he said something like, well, I'm surprised that it's taken this long. It's like, okay, but what is forever? Well, like, what is how long are we waiting here, man? So let's say it doesn't happen. Let's say it happens till after the draft. Then what? Let's say he decides to retire, or he doesn't give him a decision before the draft. Then you have the draft to worry about. Then you got to say, okay, do we take a quarterback in the first round? Do we have to? I can't imagine they're rolling this. They're just rolling with Mason Rudolph and saying, okay, there's our guy. Come on. No, they're going to have someone else. Who? Is it going to be Joe Flacco? Is it going to be, or a rookie? Is it going to be Jackson Dart or Milrow, or God forbid, Shedeur Sanders? Keep seeing Sanders. And I'm just trying to think about how the draft is going to go, and I'm trying to get in the minds of some of these NFL teams, especially the Browns. That's headache inducing, but I'll give it a try. From what we know, first pick of the draft is the Tennessee Titans, and they are most likely to take Cam Ward. That is most likely what's going to happen. Then with the second pick, you have the Browns. And who are they going to take? They could go defense with Abdul Carter, the linebacker from Penn State, which would be amazing. Put Carter on the same defense as Myles Garrett. That is a devastating combination, and that would make a very good Browns defense even better. So that is the logical thing to do, which means they won't do it because this is the Browns we're talking about, and they're so stupid. If you're a Browns fan, I feel so sorry for you. It's not your fault. Kudos to you for still following that organization. It's like a Pittsburgh baseball fan following the Pirates and actually thinking, "Ooh, we're going to be good this year." It's never going to happen. Okay, maybe it'll happen, if lightning strikes or something like that. But they're jokes of an organization, and it's just sad. So anyway, the Browns could take Abdul Carter. They could take Travis Hunter, who I understand is one of the best, not only one of the best cornerback prospects ever, one of the best wide receiver prospects ever. I mean, he is awesome, and he would help any team. So getting Travis Hunter would be great. He is probably maybe either the best prospect in this draft or the second best. So that would be smart. That would be good. So they're probably not going to do that. The other option is Shedeur Sanders, because they desperately need a quarterback, because right now their quarterback is Kenny Pickett, and we know how that would go. So do they take Sanders? Now, my opinion on Shedeur Sanders is he might be okay, but he's not second overall pick in the draft good enough. Cam Ward has all kinds of great physical traits. Sanders does not. Sanders is not a runner. I'm not sure what Sanders is good at. I think he might be accurate or something like that. One knock on him is that he holds onto the ball too long. If you do that in the NFL, that might be fine when you're playing some schmuck college or something like that in Colorado. But if you're playing any NFL team, they're going to wipe you out, man. That's not going to fly. So I think Sanders is a product of the hype machine of Colorado and Deion Sanders. If his name wasn't Sanders, if his name was McGillicuddy, I don't think he would be considered a top 10 pick. Maybe somewhere in the first round, because a lot of teams are desperate for quarterback, but where? So if the Browns, from what it sounds like, they're going to take Abdul Carter, which is a smart move. So then where would Sanders go? Would he go 3 to the Giants? Maybe. The Giants need a quarterback, even though they got a Band-Aid in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. So is that going to happen? Could he go later? Could he go? I guess he could go 9th to the Saints. But keep in mind that the Saints have not drafted a quarterback in the first round like in 50 years or something like that. So most likely that's not happening. So then where would he go? Where would if he doesn't go to the Saints at 9? I'm just pulling up now the order, because of course my computer just crapped out. Who else? Where is he going to go? Now, one speculation I saw was, well, if he lasts to the Steelers at 21, would the Steelers take him? Would the Steelers take Shedeur Sanders at 21? Basically, to me, that's Kenny Pickett all over again. I think it's a disaster. I think it's a total disaster. I'm just looking at who would take him. The Patriots at 4, they have a quarterback. Jacksonville has a quarterback. The Raiders just signed Geno Smith. They have a quarterback. Carolina, they have a quarterback. The Saints, as I said, maybe. Bears, they have a quarterback. 49ers, they have a quarterback. The Cowboys, they have a quarterback. Cardinals, they got a quarterback. Colts have a quarterback. Falcons have a quarterback. Dolphins have a quarterback. Bengals have a quarterback. Seattle has a quarterback. Packers have a quarterback. The Broncos at 20 have a quarterback. So yeah, he might fall all the way to the Steelers at 21, and then the Steelers have to make a decision. Now, I could easily see this scenario where Shedeur Sanders falls at 21. The Steelers don't take him, but they trade back. With who? The Browns. The Browns would get their cake and eat it too. They would get their pick at 2 with Abdul Carter. Then they would get their quarterback at 21. And if that's the case, first of all, Steelers and Browns making a trade would be funny. I don't know. I don't know how often division rivals make trades with each other. So maybe the Browns would make a deal with the Broncos at 20. That would make sense, because then they would quote unquote snipe the Steelers in case the Steelers even thought about drafting him. So we'll see. Anyway, bottom line, it is a small possibility that Shedeur Sanders might be available to the Steelers, but I don't want him. I think that's Kenny Pickett 2.0. So who are they going to take? I would say there is an 80% chance that it's going to be defensive line. It almost has to be. Now, I know this is a draft deep in defensive line, in running back, but they lost Larry Ogunjobi. Their defensive, they've basically done very little in the defensive line in the off season. So what do we do? What do they do? They almost have to. They almost telegraph this. They almost have to get a defensive lineman in the first round. And who's that going to be? I believe there are 3 targets. And what a time for my computer to crap out. Thanks a lot, computer. The one that I keep hearing is Kenneth Grant from Michigan. That is the one I've seen mocked to the Steelers the most. The other 2 that I've seen mocked are Walter Nolan, who Walter Nolan, I'm not sure, I forget where he's from. He's from Ole Miss. Now the thing about him is he is supposed to be this great talent. And in fact, I believe he said he wants to be the next Aaron Donald. It's like, well, slow down, buddy. Okay, I like that you have the attitude. I like that you're ambitious, but to be the next Aaron Donald, who's maybe one of the greatest defensive linemen of all time, good luck with that. But from what I understand, Nolan can go anywhere in the draft. He could go early in the first round. He could go late in the first round. He could go early in the second round, because I don't even think he's worked out anywhere. I think he's waiting for his pro day or something like that. Also, he's really young. So we'll see. So Walter Nolan might be the guy. And the third guy that I keep hearing of is Derek Harmon from Oregon. He's 6'5", 310, and he's another one. So bottom line, most likely the Steelers will take
one of those three guys in the first round. Not a quarterback, not a running back, probably not a wide receiver. I'd say if percent chances of that happening, 5% wide receiver, 5% running back, 5% quarterback, 85% defensive line. So now what do they do after that? Could they trade back? I think trading back would be smart because depending on how the draft goes, let's say unless there's like a run on defensive linemen, then you wait. You move back because they don't have a second round pick. And let's say they trade back like 5 spots or something like that. I don't know. What would they get for trading back? Let's say 5 spots. What they would get is, I believe, like a 4th rounder. And you think, well, that's not a second rounder. What are you going to do? It's like, well, I think they really want a second rounder. I think they really want to try to get that second rounder this year. So how are they going to get a second rounder this year? Well, what you do, unless you're trading George Pickens, which is highly unlikely because we've talked about this before, unless you're getting better than a 3rd rounder for him, you just keep him because you're getting a 3rd rounder in 2027. So unless you're getting a really good pick for him, you keep George Pickens. And I don't think you have anybody else to trade, but what you do have to trade is future draft picks. What do I mean by future draft picks? I believe right now they are projected to get 4 extra picks in the 2026 draft in the comp picks. Now, you can't trade comp picks because you don't know if you're getting them and you don't know anything about it. But you can trade your current picks, so they could trade their 3rd rounder in 2026, the one that they're supposed to get, and a 4th rounder, and the extra 4th rounder they get, if they trade back or something like that. And that way that's a way they can move up in the 2nd round. Or maybe they'll trade the 2026 second rounder for the 2nd rounder this year. I don't know. But that, I think, is a likely scenario. I could see them trading back a little bit and still getting the guy they want and doing some maneuvers to move up into the 2nd round this year, because I think they really want a 2nd rounder. So we'll see. All right. I think that's it. I think that's all that's going on with the Steelers right now. We're just in a big waiting game. Personally, I was disgusted with how Aaron Rodgers is handling this at first. But from what I understand, the Steelers are okay with it, and they're okay one way or the other. They're okay even if he says, no, I don't want to play, which to me is a shock. And it's like, hey guys, this is your most important position. And, while we're talking about the draft, I think they're definitely going to draft a quarterback somewhere in the draft, probably 3rd or 4th round, something like that. If Milroe lasts that long, which it doesn't look like he's going to, if he's being invited to the draft, if that McCord from Syracuse lasts that long, or that old dude from Schuff or Slough or whatever the heck is Shuck or whatever his name is, I could see someone like that, and that's good. I think you should draft a quarterback every year. Every year, it's your most important position. Who knows what you might catch? Who knows if you might find, the next Brock Purdy or something like that. Just keep trying. Look, maybe that way you'll get out of the quarterback hell you're in. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing, well, wait till 2026. That's when they're gonna get their quarterback. That's when they're gonna get their knight in shining armor. That they're gonna get this quarterback that's go, the next Ben Roethlisberger that's gonna be there for the next 20 years. We don't know any of this, people. We don't know whether there's going to be quarterbacks available, or if they'll be any good, or if they'll be in a position to get any of those quarterbacks. We don't know any of these things. So just keep trying. Keep trying. Keep getting a quarterback and seeing if you get something. Because I'm sick and tired of this desperation they've been doing the past couple years. Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Who is it going to be next year? Who's Kirk Cousins? I mean, what are we doing? We're just getting every old quarterback that's ever existed. Come on. Do something. Have somebody waiting in the wings. Plan this out a little bit more. Anyway, that's all. Thanks everybody live for listening, and hopefully next week or in the coming weeks we'll definitely have something before the draft. Oh my goodness, the draft is in a week or two, right? Wow. So it's coming up. So yeah, we'll have something on then. I hope to have people guests on, because I hate monologues. I hate talking just by myself. I've done about 830 of these episodes, and almost every single one of them, it's been me talking to 2 or 3 or 4 people, because I cannot handle just talking alone. I hate that it's just me the whole time. I don't have time to look up things and figure out what I'm going to talk about. I just hate monologues. People that can just talk on their own the whole time. I don't know how they do it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you another time. See ya.